Welcome to another edition of Out the Box Radio. I'm your host, Krill, and today we have another special guest on the line with us. He's definitely a veteran to this hip-hop thing, representing the West Coast, the city of Fresno, California to be exact. I mean, this brother's been putting out music since the late 90s up until now and still staying relevant. His level of longevity in the game is definitely something to be recognized. So, I mean, I'm going to just jump right into it. Ain't no need for the long intro. I want to introduce y'all to the West Coast General himself, the MC, the lyricist, my brother, Planet Asia. What's good, homie?
Peace, what's good? I'm out here. You know what I mean?
That's what's up, man. It's a pleasure to have you on the line with us. Welcome to Out the Box Radio.
Yes, sir.
No doubt, man. So, I mean, we got a lot of things to talk about. You know, I know you got the album with Gens Houdin that just dropped, you know, but before we get into all of that, just give the people a little briefing about your, about your history. You know, how did the musical journey begin from you from as far back as a youngin'? You know, when did you get into this thing called hip hop?
I got into hip hop. I got into hip hop in the early '80s, like a lot of us at my age. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't planning on being a rap dude or MC or whatever. I thought my other homies was gonna be MCs and shit. It just, it was just a part of the lifestyle at the time, man. And then, around like 89 or something like that, 88, 89, I started, attempting to write my little rhymes, because rapping back then was just like a fun thing. Like if you had a rap, you know what I'm saying, everybody would listen to you, and it was just a fun thing, you know what I'm saying. I even knew some chicks that could rhyme back in the day. But, 88, 89, I started writing rhymes and kind of taking it seriously, you know what I'm saying. And it was just a thing that I was doing, And being from where I'm from Fresno, California, we got a rich hip hop history, a rich hip hop background out there, especially when it comes to like pop locking. Like some of the early inventors of pop locking came out of Fresno, like Boogaloo Sam, Poppin' Pete. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
you had certain artists like it was a lot of local artists who had out like little independent joints, like my man Kool J. He got signed to Jive Records at that time. You had a lot of little different things going on. So my man Rasco, that put me in the game, he was actually in a group called Various Blends at the time.
Right.
And he was actually the dancer for the group. And my little crew, we used to all do like talent shows and showcases and whatnot, just kind of like sharpening our thing up. And then, early 90s, we started trying to shop demos and try to get a deal. That early 90s, everybody trying to get a record deal type shit,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So that went down, and out of that crew, I morphed into who I am, as far as Planet Asia goes. I come from a crew called Schoolyard originally. You know what I'm saying? That's who I originally came up with out of Fresno. That's me, Shake the Mayor, Cubic, Kemet, Supreme, Turban, Trendsetters, a lot of others, and Protest was the main producer. And
right.
We almost got a deal a couple of times. You know what I'm saying? When I was younger, I almost got a deal when I was like 15. 15 or 16.
Word.
We were shopping deals, and Cats was hollering at us, like Atlantic Records, and Jive was hollering at us. But it was a thing, because High Rolls was already out, and they was like the only dudes that kind of reminded us of who we was, like. So we felt like if they can do it, we could do it, you know what I mean? And then one of my boys he actually grew up with the High Roll, so we was kind of like blessed to be around them at the beginning of their career, when they started off with the 92 Till Infinities and, the Casual first album and all that, you know what I'm saying? So that was like a big inspiration for us to try to like really get in there, you know what I mean? And out of that, I didn't know that Rasco was going to put me in the game. He put me in the game, and here I am right now. Rasco ended up coming out with one of the most known underground hip hop singles at the time. It was called Unassisted, and that was like the beginning. That was the beginning of the Stones Throw era. And he used to always tell me he was gonna put me on his album, and he always would say, like, once people heard me, that I was gonna get the same reaction that they gave him, and I just didn't believe it at the time because I mean we were doing our thing, and I always had the confidence, but it just was being from where I'm from, I just didn't see it how he saw it.
Right.
And once I jumped on his album, it really everything that he said that was gonna happen, it happened, and I haven't looked back since. As far as Planet Asia that you see today.
Word up, it's amazing history too, man. The funny thing about you, Asia, when I think about you, and you just mentioned it earlier too about coming up in that 90s era. When I first heard of you, I always knew you was repping the West, but
right.
There was always something that made me think, damn, this brother sounds like he's from New York. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You always sounded like you could have been like a member of the Wu. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm just curious to know like what some of your influences was coming up out of the East Coast, like when you were coming up, like not taking anything away from the West and the great sound.
I'll be the first one to tell you, man. I'm definitely heavily influenced by the early stages of hip hop. At that time, I was still young. You know what I'm saying? Like, coming up as 9 years old. When I first started really listening to tapes and knowing who Mr. Magic was and shit like that, I was 9 years old. You know what I mean? So
right.
Those were like compilation albums, and what that gave me the opportunity to listen, to see and hear was like, you'll hear Dana Dane. And then you might get a Run DMC joint, exclusive Run DMC joint that you never heard before. My first time ever hearing Eric B for President, was through a Mr. Magic compilation. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I had a mixture of so much of that type of music. And what's crazy? I tell people all the time, I'm heavily influenced by a lot of Long Island and Queens music because if you look at it, where's Mr. Magic from?
Right.
Exactly. So it's just like, a lot of my early beginners was like the Def Jam, and Fat Boys, of course. And that whole Crush Groove era, that was like, my childhood right there. So I'm just a dude that never really looked at it as, this is some New York, this is a New York thing. If it was more like New York started it, and so I would rather stay more grounded in the foundation of what this hip hop thing started off. It's like any other art. If I was to do anything, I'd rather go to the source. I don't want to go to the connect. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to connect. I want to go to where he's getting his from. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how I looked at it. I never wanted to fake it when I did this. This ain't a parody. You know what I'm saying? It's not an MC parody. It's like, it kind of chose me too at the same time because I wasn't planning on being an MC like this. I was planning on playing sports and doing everything all the other kids was doing. But my childhood, everything in my childhood that I love is in hip hop. So
right,
you know what I mean? Like you said, it's crazy. You said something about the Wu-Tang. It's like even with the Wu-Tang, it's like it's not a coincidence why I deal with the Wu on the level that I deal with the Wu because even when they first came out, I was like, damn. These dudes is like, they embody everything that I grew up off of. You know what I'm saying? And
no doubt.
Because you got like a lot of dudes that's like, when they heard Wu-Tang, they started getting into hip-hop. I'm older than that era, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I come before that like that. LL is my Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? LL Cool J is my Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? Like what Jay-Z is to the kids today, that's what LL is to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to forever look at him like that. You know what I'm saying? Rakim is forever, like, above hip-hop to me. You know what I'm saying? In my eyes. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like...
No doubt. I feel you on that, man.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, it ain't about a West Coast, East Coast thing, man. When EPMD first came out, I thought they was from the Bay Area. Keeping it 100, because I didn't know nothing about Long Island. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, these dudes remind me of dudes that's in East Oakland. You know what I'm saying? Dookie Ropes. Nike Flights, you know what I'm saying? The IROCs and the Benzes, that was all Northern Cali stuff to me. You know what I'm saying? So just like how you thought that I was from New York, I thought dudes from out there was from out here.
Wow, look at that. And it's amazing that it transcends, from one region to the next. But you know, Asia, I wanna on the topic of that the era, you know, coming up in the '90s and stuff, man. I wanna say that you come from what I would consider the second golden era in terms
Right.
of you coming up the late '90s, early 2000s.
Right.
You know, what would you say about that time that you appreciated the most that you feel just doesn't exist now?
Artist development. You know what I'm saying? I think the artist development aspect of that era was what made it the golden era. It's like, you know, I got to see like leaders of the new school, Redman when he first got. I remember going to a Hit Squad show one time and it was only like 50 people in there. You know what I'm saying? Like you talk about Redman, EPMD, Gas Effects. You know what I'm saying? Like in their beginning stages, you know, KMD, De La Soul, you know, Brand Nubians. I got to see Brand Nubians. Like I got to see a lot of development of these dudes, and it's like now you don't really get to see development. It's like dudes just come up, they just immediately get on and just be popping. It's like without the development, it makes weak artists. I don't want to say all the way whack, but just weak artists. It's like it's not enough 100 proof alcohol in the drink. You know what I'm saying? Like they haven't stumbled enough and went through enough styles to be able to be like, yo, that ain't the style I want to use. Like I'm glad I didn't come out when I wanted to come out. You know what I'm saying? Because if I would have came out when I wanted to come out, y'all would have been stuck with whatever that image was of me for the rest of my career.
Right.
So by the time the world heard me, I was 22. I was already kind of like, you know, I'm this type of artist. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of dudes, you know, they don't have no development. It's just like, yo, I just started rapping last week, and now I'm on YouTube, and now I got 1 million views. And I love it because don't forget, I come from a hustling culture. So at the same time, it's like two things. It's like two different type of mentalities in me. One mentality is like, yo, that shit is whack though, and then my other mentality is like, yo, yo, he hitting his though.
Right,
man.
right.
You know, better that than him running up in your window and trying to jack you. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you just got to look at it as hip hop, man. It's fun. It saves lives. It does a lot of things. You know what I mean?
Right. You know, it's interesting you speak about that too, because I want to talk to you a little bit about that in a little later on, just to touch on the new age that we're living in this digital age and just everything that comes with it. You know, but before we go there, I want to fast forward to something a little bit more current, which is the new album that you got out with Gensu Dean, the Abrasions album that just actually came out, the digital album, of course. Can you tell the people out there how the project came together and the goal or objective you and Gensu intended for it?
It was an organic thing, you know. I have been talking to Gensu over Twitter for probably like a year or so. You know what I'm saying? And first of all, just his name. It's sometimes, you know, it's crazy. A name can sometimes make you be like, yo, I want to check this cat out. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, a lot of dudes try to send me beats. You know, I got a Gmail strictly for producers to send me beats, and like 80% of them are like fake Lex Luger beats, fake Rick Ross type slow beats. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just I don't know, like everybody sounded the same. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When I seen his name, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna check his SoundCloud out, and I went to SoundCloud. I was like, all right, dude, all right. But you know, I still wasn't, you know, jumping at it just as yet because I was caught up working on Black Girl Theater and doing other things. So I had never got around to like really getting down with the brother. And then I know he had dropped his album, which is like a compilation of different artists. Mm-hmm. And he had this video with Large Professor.
Yep.
And I went to that video and I was like, yo,
fresh.
I know how to work with this cat right here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no doubt.
And he on the SC1200. I'm like, oh, he look like he was age, so I know he gonna understand exactly what I want. You know what I'm saying? So we started building, but he hit me out the blue and was like, yo, what you think about doing an album? And, you know, Mellow Music was like, that's a great idea for us two to work together. And I was like, I'm with it. You know what I mean? And
no doubt.
He started sending me joints, and I just started knocking them down.
You know, I'm really glad that you know, you can have these type of organic relationships where you know you're meeting an artist for the first time, and just off of the strength of their raw talent, you know, you guys could work together? Because in my eyes, I'm thinking you guys, you know, went back. Like, you knew him from a long time ago, but to hear that he actually was just like trying to hit you up on some, like, you know, checking for you type stuff, that's pretty dope, especially in this day and age.
You know what it is, man? I think people in my age bracket just need to get a little bit more active and not complain about hip hop. You know, that's to me that's the problem with hip hop. It's not that the young kids are messing hip hop up. It's that these old dudes ain't doing it right no more. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I'm just keeping it 100. You know what I'm saying? Do it right, my dude. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't got to do what these young dudes is doing. Perfect example, OC and Apollo Brown made a classic record.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, showing you how to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a classic record. Like, OC sound like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if I was in high school, I would want to buy that. You know what I'm saying? Like, not like I got to be in high school to buy it. I got it, of course. But I'm saying, like, if I was just, you know, a new cat coming into this thing, he would be one of the cats that would make me like this thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, these OGs got to get more involved. That's why I love what Raekwon is doing, you know what I'm saying? Because he's repping for my age bracket. It's like, I come from that era, you know what I'm saying? So it's it ain't about bringing the 90s back. It's just about dudes that have that history staying active, just like any other musician. There ain't no age bracket for music. I plan on doing this until I croak, regardless of how much money I got. Whether I got millions or no money, it's like, it ain't like that. It's like, either you love it or you don't. Dudes coming to this game with all these hopes and dreams only to get their heart broke. I never came into the game with, you know, wanting really nothing but the people tell me I was dope and people that respect my music. And it's like, what more can you really ask for when you making music? So don't go into it with all this, yo, this is the one, and then you get your feelings hurt. You know what I'm saying? I got a song on the radio right now. Mainstream radio. I never had a song on mainstream radio ever in my whole career that plays in the middle of the day, especially on LA and Fresno radio. The song that I'm on, I didn't plan on that being the song.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
What song is that, by the way?
It ain't even my song. It's my homie Fly Kid Liz. He's a young dude, but he put me on this joint. I got busy. I could have easily been like, nah, man, I ain't down with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm real hip hop. You know what I mean? Like, nah, man, I got down on that. He's young dude coming up. I'm a rock because I know the frequency of what young people is rocking. I rap over trap beats. I rap over hyphy joints. Because you know why? Because I grew up loving that type of music too. If anybody my age saying that they didn't like 2 Live Crew going up there live, or you was a fucking square. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't like 2 Live Crew going up, you was a square. If you didn't like Too Short going up, you was a square, homie. I don't care what you say. Everything can't be, you know, the find the book. Now, I'm not saying you need to just go overboard ratchet, but I'm just saying it just needs to be a balance. And I think older dudes need to get involved. We starting to act like some of these dudes are starting to act like our parents used to act. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Don't act like you wasn't dudes running around with flat tops and contacts in their eyes back in the day. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of dudes. The same way I go on these weirdo looking dudes today. It was those same dudes existed when I was coming up. A bunch of ready for the world looking ass cats. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was like, yo, these dudes look nasty. You know what I'm saying? What the Wu call them? Nasty R&B niggas. You know what I'm saying? They always been around. You know what I'm saying? But we had an overabundance of people that was doing the real stuff. So it ain't about, you know, hip hop is where hip hop is at. Yo, man, me and Jitsu being the same age, we got active. We did this album like we was 15 years old. And yo, you want to know something even crazy? I never met him before. I never met him in the flesh.
Right. Wow, look at that.
I never met Jitsu being in the flesh.
Wow. And here you got an album together. That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? It's other producers out there that I try to get at. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, just send me the beats. You know what I'm saying? I will send them back to you. You know what I mean? And these dudes be slow. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they wonder why ain't nobody talking about them.
Right. So I mean, you said that you never met this brother my thing is, you also said that you get a lot of submission, requests for people to,
Right.
people send you a lot of beats. So
Right.
what was it about this brother? I mean, of course, with the Large Pro video and stuff, but what was it about him that's made you say, yo, I'm gonna take the time to look at this brother's work?
Keeping it 100, I knew he had some knowledge of himself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you got knowledge of self, it's easier for me to work with you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you're gonna know where I'm coming from. If you don't got knowledge of self, we might not really get along like that. I mean, we can get along, but I'm not gonna really, you know what I mean? Like you're not my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't have knowledge of yourself, you just a person to me. You're not my brother yet. You gotta have some knowledge of self for me to consider you my brother. I don't even care if you're related to me. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know something. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't dealing with that, then you just a person to me. So it was like with him, he's my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my brother. When we talk on the phone, I feel like I've been knowing him my whole life, G. Sort of everything. You know what I mean? I feel like I've been knowing him my whole life.
Right. That's what it is, man. Planet Asia, thank you for being on the line with us. You're now in tune to Out the Box Radio. So what we gonna do, Asia, is we gonna go into a song from off the Abrasions album with Ginsu Dean. I think we should go into the first single, which is Faces on a Dollar, and let the people hear the rawness that you talk about with Ginsu Dean. And when we come back, we gonna talk a little bit more, man. Thank you for kicking it with us, man. I'm enjoying this convo.
No doubt.
All right, here we go, man. Let's check out this Faces on a Dollar joint with Ginsu Dean and the brother Planet Asia, who we got on the line today.
559 Fresno, California. You know what I'm saying? You know how the fuck we get down. You know what I mean? Play this shit 1,000 times. You know what I mean? While I just cash out, niggas. Shirt wearing ass niggas. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yo, my ways and actions reflect greatness. Stand on my square sacred. Serious grill, this is the hand that writes the hatred. I scroll the jewel up, your flow is tool up. Patchouli all your shit. Sandals and incense is pseudo. Vibe on my scripture. Ride to the pictures I paint. Even the deaf, dumb, and blind can intertwine with this one. I'm too grown to do what shorty do. The cook up costs more than what the snorty do. Shoot your face in the particles with a 22 from the sleeve of the custom hitting pocket of my naughty goose. Why would I lie to you? That's something that I'm too fly to do. I'm on some sign of pool marijuana, some wine and hoes. Lord forgive me for the gluttony, but not having $1 to feed my family just wasn't me. Y'all already know what it is, man. DRDC and get don't stop. Hey, I don't quit. GC. This is legendary status. It ain't a small time thing. Money machine music, the faces on $1 could talk, I swear. Telling me to stay prepared, stay on the grind. There's money to be made everywhere. It ain't a small time thing. Money machine music, the faces on $1 could talk, I swear. Telling me to stay prepared, stay on the grind. There's money to be made. Shout out to Frank H, Fink White, Hinton Center, Ivy Center. Summers and winters, all the fly shit that I remember. Fucking with me on this mic, it ain't a man that I know. Since selling dope out the brownies and abandoned condos. One verse will have you all stuck. Might hold a hand and kick a can to get my balls sucked. Parental advisory I suggest when dealing with the rhymes I chef. When I'm beastin', I'm releasing all kinds of stress. You fruity ass rappers is making it too easy for me. I'm on my fly thug shit, that's easy money. With enough brethren that's rough around the edges, here to ruffle up some feathers, and it's nothing, it's whatever. Lord forgive me for the gluttony, but not being the G.O.D. of my cipher just wasn't me. Still sucker free, niggas can't fuck with me, and not having no money to feed my family, fuck a plea. This is legendary status, it ain't a small time thing. Money machine music, the faces on $1 could talk, I swear. Telling me to stay prepared, stay on the grind, there's money to be made everywhere. It ain't a small time thing. Money machine music, the faces on $1 could talk, I swear. Telling me to stay prepared, stay on the grind, there's money to be made everywhere.